Hey everyone, Renee here. So this video is going to be all about my favorite substitutes for vitamin C serums. I'm talking specifically about the ascorbic acid formulas. Ascorbic acid, as you know, is the gold standard. If you want to know the difference between that and vitamin C derivatives, then I have two videos which I will link down below for you. I know this is kind of an unusual video for me to be doing considering I'm such a big advocate of ascorbic acid serums. I've been using one in my morning routine since a long time. I do think this is important to talk about though, and long overdue. There are many of you out there that can't use L-ascorbic acid serums. Your skin can't tolerate it for whatever reason. Either it causes so much sensitivity because the pH has to be so low in order for the ascorbic acid to absorb into your skin and work. Well, some of you may experience breakouts every time you use it. It is a powerful ingredient, so whether it's because your skin is purging or if there's any other reason you're kind of scared to, exacerbate your skin. One far less common reason, but I have heard it happen to some of you. It turns your whole face like orange, which I don't know the reason for that. So the reason why it's relevant for me to talk about this now is because I currently can't use an ascorbic acid serum because I just went up in prescription tretinoin. But the peeling is happening, but what hit first was the extreme sensitivity. So I'm back to basics again, but I will be talking all about that in my next skincare routine. So every time I get asked this question, I always ask back, what is it that you want to use ascorbic acid for? What kind of results or skin concerns are you trying to target? L-ascorbic acid does three things really well. The first of which is it's great at just brightening up the skin tone, giving you a glow, a radiance, but it can really even things out and reverse photo damage that is existing. But more important than that is it's one of the most powerful and most studied antioxidants. So it really protects your skin from environmental factors, it protects it against anything that can cause your skin to age faster. The other thing it does really well is collagen synthesis, which is important if you care about age-defensive skincare. It will keep your skin youthful, make sure that your collagen is strong and developing. So to make things really simple, if you can identify which of these concerns you are most affected by, then I've got some incredible options for you that will not just work as amazing substitutes, they may even work better. One of the best substitutes, in my opinion, for that skin brightening and that even skin tone, especially when your skin is way too sensitive to use ascorbic acid and you're prone to redness, is azelaic acid. I think in terms of like age defensive concerns, Brightly is my preferred formula because it's got 10% azelaic acid. It's also got 5% niacinamide. It's got bakuchiol, and it just has a beautiful hydrating texture. For normal to oily and acne prone skin, I would highly recommend the Paulas Choice 10% Azelaic Acid Booster. It is fantastic for that purpose, and it also has 0.5% salicylic acid as well. These are the most texturally elegant formulas that I've come across. Azelaic acid is one of those very difficult ingredients to formulate with because of its naturally very grainy nature. So it's hard to get a beautiful smooth texture with it. I've mentioned before, the Ordinaries was the first azelaic acid formula I used, and I used it once and never again. The texture was just not for me. I think maybe if you have oily skin, it's more tolerable, but for me, it was just intensely drying. If you're living in a country where azelaic acid cannot be bought over the counter, and I know a bunch of you are, then you may want to consider Asaclare, which is a good derivative. At the end of the day, it's still a derivative, so it's really hard to measure the effectiveness of this against the gold standard. But there have been studies that have shown that Asaclare has been effective at brightening and evening out the skin tone. There are brands that prefer to formulate with Asaclare, such as Geek and Gorgeous. Their APAT has 20% Asaclare. You can get a really nice, watery, absorbing quickly texture. So most recently, I've been using NIOD Re Pigment. NIOD is hands down one of my favorite brands. And when I was doing the brand overview, I did mention this, but at the time, I also said that I hadn't been using it long enough to really be able to feel comfortable reviewing it yet. I've definitely seen results with this, but do keep in mind I am using tretinoin as well. So I think the combination of the two accelerates the effect on photo damage. So this also contains Azelaic as one of the skin brightening ingredients. So this is formulated to even your skin tone in a few different ways. The first of which is to really brighten up your complexion. Secondly, it also, addresses the vascular inflammation, so red inflammation, but primarily what it does is it really evens out the photo damage. So any area where marks are brown or darker, it works to fade that excess pigmentation over time, but it also has some peptides which help sort of reduce the contrast of the brownness with the rest of your skin tone. That contrast is what makes pigmentation visible even while you're wearing makeup. It's actually difficult to cover. What else I find exceptionally good at brightening is anything that's highly concentrated with rice. Obviously, my favorite is the I'm From Rice toner, which does something extraordinary for my skin. Not only does it make everything look like a rice cake, but also it just smooths out the texture beautifully, and it's deeply, deeply hydrating. I mean, this really comes from an age-old ancient practice. East Asian women would save the rice water after washing rice and just splash it on their face because it would give them that beautiful, beautiful skin tone and texture. So as far as vitamin C derivatives go, they're not necessarily my first choice as a direct substitute. I think that there are some overlapping qualities for sure, especially where skin brightening is concerned. But as for everything else, I'm not sure that it really converts in the same way in our skin. In my experience, there are two derivatives that are fantastic at brightening the skin tone. One of them is ethylated ascorbic acid, which maybe you guys can still remember a few years ago. I was using the 30% ethylated ascorbic acid from NIOD. That was an effect that honestly I actually started seeing pretty soon after I started using it. The other derivative would be THD. Definitely it's the more concentrated formulas where I've been able to see a difference with how much it's been able to really brighten up a dull skin tone. If you want some more of my favorite options, then I will link my vitamin C derivatives video down below. One that is relatively new that was not included in the video because this came out afterwards is this one from Allies of Skin. Their 35% vitamin C plus perfecting serum. As a complete formula, this is a fabulous alternative to an L-ascorbic acid serum because not only does it have like 25% ethylated L-ascorbic acid, it also has 20% THD, but I love that it also incorporates some very powerful antioxidants as well, like superoxide dismutase, as well as glutathione. I will be talking more about these ingredients next. And do take into account that this much ethylated ascorbic acid is still pretty strong. So if you have very sensitive skin, then do approach this. If you're starting out, approach it, gently. L-ascorbic acid is the most researched antioxidant. In fact, I love using it in my morning routine, so I compare it with sunscreen just to give my skin the protection it needs. But if you can't use it, there's some other really potent antioxidant serums that I've been loving. I tend to use everything together. I feel like you can never have enough antioxidants in a routine, but I want to share with you some of my favorite and some of the most powerful ones. NIOD Survival Zero is one of the hardest working antioxidant serums I've ever come across. This contains superoxide dismutase, which is one of the most potent antioxidants. In fact, it's already in the cells in our bodies, and what it does is it works to combat the damaging effects of oxidation. In fact, there was a study that showed that when the skin was directly exposed to UVB light, and as you know, UVB is what's responsible for sunburns. But when that happened, superoxide dismutase was able to reduce the look of the inflammation almost entirely. This also has a couple of algae in here, other ingredients and technologies that are very focused at protecting the skin against pollution as well, or anything that could cause early signs of aging, premature aging. In my skincare routines, you would see me using this in my morning routine alongside sunscreen. I think, it's a fantastic and powerful combination. On NIOD's website, it does recommend to use it at nighttime. I do remember when I spoke to Brandon about this, he actually said one of the reasons why he recommended Survival Zero for nighttime use is because he didn't want people to get it confused with Survival 30, Survival 10, which actually has SPF in it. So he didn't want people to think that if you use Survival Zero during the day, it acts as an SPF, because it doesn't. Another favorite of mine, which you've seen me alternate with the Survival Zero in my morning routines, is Symmetry Fluid from Klur. This is their anti-pollution serum. This has all those plant-based antioxidants that my skin just loves, like green tea, white tea, red algae, all those beautiful medicinal roots. But this also has vitamin E, a vitamin C derivative, and superoxide dismutase as well. Obviously not in as concentrated a form as the Survival Zero, but it's in there and I appreciate it being in there. I also love that this has glutathione in it as well. Glutathione is a supplement that I take alongside my vitamin C just so that the vitamin C could be more effective and last longer. And so I actually feel glutathione is something I'm beginning to see a lot more in skincare as well. Powerful antioxidant. Collagen synthesis is what our skin needs to be firm, supple, and youthful, but also it promotes good skin healing and good repair. If you've ever had any kind of wound on your skin, you know that it can actually heal very badly. This is definitely an important step in any age defensive skincare routine, or if you have concerns, if you have a compromised skin barrier, or it's a vulnerable skin barrier, or you're just, you need some strength and healing and repair. For me, it is all about the copper peptides. I have yet to experience a treatment more effective than these. NIODs, CAIS, and CAIL have been consistent superstars for me, more recently the CAIL. Some of you may remember when I first started my retinoid journey, I did replace my vitamin C serum in the morning with the CAIS, and it did a great job at just really countering some of the damaging effects that would be caused by my retinizing. I really feel that this helps my skin repair much faster during the whole retinizing process, so it's just not as bad. In fact, right now that is what I'm doing. I am alternating. Sometimes I'm using this and sometimes I'm using this. And of course, we can't talk about collagen synthesis without mentioning LED, in particular red light and infrared light. I did a whole video on my favorite LED devices, the benefits of it, the wavelengths that we should be looking for that actually work and are evidence-based, developed by NASA with a lot of research behind it. This really kind of works to deeply affect the collagen in our skin and just to make it and encourage it to work and give us that better collagen and just to repair our skin better, to give us an even skin tone and just to calm down inflammation. So that's it, everyone. I hope you found this helpful, but these are my favorite formulas that I like to use when my skin just can't handle ascorbic acid or just needs a break from it like it does right now. Thank you so much for watching as always, and until next time, I'm wishing you great skin health. Bye!